Now, when you're talking about American bikes, chances are you'll be thinking about a cruiser. And when you're talking about cruisers, one name will definitely jump right out at you, which is Harley Davidson. And rightfully so, because they've been around for a long time and they make great looking bikes. However, there are some other companies that make equally fantastic bikes, and we're here to take a look at one of them today. This is the Victory Vegas 8-Ball. Victory is a company that's been around since the late 90s, and they obviously know a thing or two about making bikes that look fantastic. Okay, let's address the obvious first. This bike, not much chrome on it, yeah? Because this bike is supposed to exude modernness, hence why it's mostly blacked out. You can really have this bike in any color you want as long as it's very glossy black from the way it looks. And talking about the way it looks, this bike just is a looker. It gives you this sense of self, kind of mysterious looking bike, a bit of an incognito kind of machine. But it's got design nuances that are just brilliant to look at. If the eyes are the windows to the soul, then the windows to the soul of this bike would be the headlamp. Check it out and look at the beautifully shaped headlamp and its cowling. It just gives you this, you're looking at either a superhero or a supervillain, but definitely a character that is just shrouded in mystery. It looks fantastic. Then the wheels are very, very unique to this bike. It's manta ray wheels. Finished in black and also brushed metal. It looks fantastic. 21-inch up front and 18 at the back. It just gives a lot of presence to this bike, and when you couple it with the front fender with its peak, it just looks very sharp and you feel like you're actually looking at the actual animal itself. And then as you go back, you will realize that the riding position is just ace. The ride height is not very tall, so you can have your feet flat on the ground, and the steering wheel rises and comes forward to greet you. It's very comfortable. After a long time, you won't feel tired. That's the gist of it lah. It just gives a very comforting feeling when you ride this bike, and also it gives you a lot of confidence as well, because all your controls are actually within easy reach. And despite the fact that this bike is 290 kilograms, not a lightweight over here, but it's very easy to maneuver, and this is of course thanks to the engine, which I will talk more about later. Then as you come to the back here, you will see that the pipes are again blacked out. You do have aftermarket pipes that you can go for, but in standard guise, it still looks the best. Now, the seat's a single seater, and this is a standard, though you will realize that it comes with this rail over here, and it gives you the option to either add more seats or to put saddlebags to the side. There's just so much that you can actually do with this Victory motorcycle. But you know what? I'm gagging for a ride, so let's go for a ride. I tell you man, seriously, riding this Vegas 8-Ball in the city, everybody just looks at you. First, because they think you're riding, HD. And then they realize that you're not riding an HD, and you're going on something that looks fantastic, but possibly even more special. But how special is the ride quality for the bike? Well, as I mentioned earlier, 290 kilograms is not a small amount of mass to be moving about. But lucky for us, you've got a 106 cubic inch engine, which equates to about 1.7 liters, pushing out 150 Newton meters of torque and about 100 bhp from, well, fairly early on. So this bike has got just about enough grunt to shift things about, and monumentally quickly. That's my favorite part about this bike. This bike is actually pretty sharp handling. It's fairly rapid, it's quite quick, and it actually gives you a lot of satisfaction if you like to have this sort of cruiser, but at the same time, if you want to go down the fast route, it's still okay. So for stopping power, what we get are two discs up front and in the back, so that's 300 millimeters each. They're both the same size. It's just that for the front calipers you've got 6-pot, and for the rear you've got for the front calipers you've got 4-pot, and for the rear you've got 2 pots. and that provides just about enough stopping power. This bike also comes with ABS as standard, and that's definitely a welcome addition to the bike. But seriously, this bike is all about the flickability, the maneuverability, the comfort of riding this bike, and the speed. You do get some heat coming from the engine area, but not excessively so that's quite alright. And well, this 50 degrees V-twin liquid air cooled is just a looker, if you know what I mean. Yeah, definitely turning heads. Look, I've got tourists looking at me from there. Hey guys. So I want to talk a little bit about the riding position, because I think that's the ace part about this bike. You are in a very comfortable position. As mentioned earlier, the handlebar actually rises and comes forward to greet you, and the foot peg distance just nicely for a rider like me who is 5'11". So a lot of comfort. You can do a lot of distance, a lot of miles with this bike without feeling that tired. It's good. It's really good. And really, it's all about the ease of control. Nicely weighted, flickable, maybe quite, not too bad. Well, boys and girls, we are now at the very end of our ride with this awesome Victory motorcycle. And really, I'm sure you're all dying to know what's the verdict that I have for this fantastic looking bike. Well, that is the verdict. It's fantastic looking, definitely, no doubt. Cannot deny that it is a fantastic looking bike that handles well, and it gives you a great sensation at the end of riding it, because you don't feel tired. The heat's not too bad, and it's great value because priced at about 97,800 ringgit right here in Malaysia, it undercuts some of its competitors by quite a tidy sum of cash. So if you're in the market for a cruiser and you don't want to obviously go for the obvious HD, this is definitely one of the two options that you could go for. The other one, of course, is being in motorcycles. It looks fantastic, great value, and most importantly, it's also, according to a lot of reports out there, very reliable. So I'm sure if you had this bike to play with, you are going to grow to love it as much as I have, because it is a cracker.